Peace, Taiguey, to all my people under tribal universal law. I wanted to read about the psychic energy phenomenon that can't be proven or explained by Carl Jung. But then I thought about Boss Tweed and Tammany Hall, Gangs of New York. I also wanted to read Absolute Monarch, but let me just go right into Ellis Island. All right. For millions of poor Europeans, the dream was America, and the door to the dream was Ellis Island. It is still there, 27 acres of rock in Upper New York Bay, not far from the Statue of Liberty, southwest of the bottom of Manhattan, originally called Gibbet Island when a pirate was hanged there in 1769. It later was, I bet it was, renamed after it, and then owner Samuel Ellis around 1800. How the fuck? Anyway, the new nation turned it into a fort. There you go. The federal government took it over, and for most of the 19th century, it was known as Fort Gibson. They changed the name. After the Civil War, it became an ammunition dump. But in 1892, the deluge of immigrants poured into America, forcing its conversion into an immigration station. The original wooded building burned in 1897, and in a new complex of brick buildings was opened in 1900. It was through the main building called simply enough the reception center, sound like prison, that the grandparents of perhaps a third of present-day Americans passed during the peak years before the First World War. Processed as many as 5,000 immigrants a day. The government, doctor, and inspectors treated the would-be Americans with considerable humanity. Nevertheless, the prospects of passing through the immigration center and the possibility of rejection stuck such terror in the hearts of the immigrants that it was known to many as the Island of Tears. Today, it is a wreck of a relic, closed by the government in 1954 and put up for sale. It was left unguarded for 10 years, during which time vandals rolled over the mainland to steal what the hell they stole? The hardware, the copper flashings from the roof, whatever was not nailed down. Wow. Years of leaking roof crumbled. The old plaster, now part of the building, are unsafe, but one can still wander through the great halls and many of its adjacent rooms. Here, amidst the debris, stands the old upright piano. There's an ancient singer sewing machine that might once have been used by some peasant woman to mend the torn shirts of her son as they waited to be processed. Ooh, that's enough of that. But damn. Well, I could go on. You hear the babble of Greek, Yiddish, Italian, Norwich, Russian. You can hear the babies crying, a mother soothing. Two Italian peasants whispered nervously to each other, an immigration service inspectors trying to communicate a harassed interpretation of frightened Turks. Look, man, ain't nothing really changed, bro. Peace to the planet, man. Like I said, my people, man. Oh shit. Right here in New York. Taiguey.
Anyone could bring a charge in the Roman system. Being a snitch was potentially a lucrative profession.
Oh,
If
shit.
you brought a charge against someone, it's called being a delator. Okay. If that charge went through, you got a reward. You got a portion of the condemned person's estate.
These professional snitches were feared and hated all over Rome.
Not bad.
You were careful
Secret
what you
agent.
said in public. You were careful what you said at the baths. You were careful what you said in the brothel or the wine house.
The overlay
because
for the underlay.
you just didn't know if somebody nearby might figure, I'll turn this guy in, maybe I'll get rich.
Rauschus owned a lot of real estate. A snitch hoping to make a buck accused his son of sticking a knife into the old man.
Shit, P. Diddy.
There was